Alright gang, welcome back to our competitive one-tile challenge here on Farmlands. I'm putting a worker on starting right now with the grass because we have a lot to do. There's no beating around the bush here. There is a lot to do today. This is probably going to be the busiest episode we've had in a long time. Not only do we have this field of grass here that needs to be mowed up and ready to go, we also have our canola field ready and our wheat field is ready. Very busy day. I did a little bit of extra work off camera. I removed that other cricket production that we had over there. Remember I said we didn't really need it, so I went ahead and removed it, and then I reseeded that with grass, so that field's a little bit bigger. Obviously, you can see in the distance I did not decide to go down the path of putting down some sheds. I just thought about it a little bit more during the edit, and I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. See, it really doesn't, because after we're done harvesting both these fields, our harvester is going away. So that's one less piece of equipment, right? So it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I didn't do that. Now, you might also notice that we have a significant amount less of money than where we were at the end of the last episode. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, I bought some new equipment from the used market, I should say. We're going to make some upgrades to both our slurry tank and to our windrower. I never really liked that windrower. I wanted to give it another shot, so I was using it because, well, obviously we got it used and it was a pretty decent price. But I never really was a big fan of it, so, you know, we're going to get rid of it, I guess is how I'm going to put it. So we're going to go ahead and sell this Marshall back for $12,157, and I'll show you here in just a second what we ended up getting. I'm going to repair the cloths while we're up here. It's a little bit of extra money, I understand that, but... And we'll sell that. Okay, perfect. So, that gets us to $362. So, in essence, we spent about $40,000 on what we have. And what we have is right here behind us. One, a much larger slurry tank, which is going to help us from having to make multiple trips to the BGA with the pig slurry and the cow slurry. Two, it's another windrower, a much larger windrower. And since we are now going to be heading into the approach basically from this episode on to where it's only going to be grass fields, with the exception of one cotton field, of course, we are going to be wanting something that's a little bit more hefty so we can do a little bit more, a little bit quicker. So I bought this windrower in the used market. Now the windrower itself was somewhere, I think it was like $40-something thousand, something like that. It wasn't really a cheap windrower for that matter, but you know, we got whatever it was back right now, and then we just sold the windrower. We got $12,000, $13,000 back, whatever it was, so $30,000. Expensive, very expensive. Don't get me wrong, it is very expensive, but I think it's going to be very helpful for us from a time management standpoint, if nothing else, as we move forward, since most of the land we have now is all going to be grass after today's episode, right? So that's the main reason for the purchase. And like I said, it's going to be an extreme help for us. I really do believe that, and I think it's going to be a huge addition here that's going to allow us to be able to do a little bit more quicker. Because that's going to be the problem as we move forward here, is time management is going to be the problem with all the grass we're going to be doing. I mean, we're going to have grass fields ready to mow pretty much every month, so time management is definitely going to be the thing, and it's not going to remove all the other things we have to do, all the selling of these products and things like that, right? We're going to have a lot going on, so if we can speed things up a little bit for, you know, a little bit of a cheaper price, we're going to go for it, right? So that's where we're at for the time being, so I bought both of those. Now, the slurry distributor was a little bit cheaper than the windrower. I think we basically only paid, we got from the slurry that, you know, the one we just sold, the Marshall that we just sold, I think we basically have about a $15,000, maybe $17,000 into this one. So it's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. We should probably mostly break even, I think, on this when we sell it back. So that's good, right? That's good. And it's going to help us because we don't have to make as many trips. I did put our little color coordination on it. We've got that tannish color, and then the green, the army green almost, or the military green rims. So anyway, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. We are doing, like I said, we said we were going to do in the last episode. The goal was for us today to do quite a few episodes. Today is Monday, Memorial Day, so very happy Memorial Day to you. Thank you for those of you who have served and are continuing to serve. Yeah, we're cruising, man. Hopefully we get 3 done today. If we don't, we'll at least get 2 done for a fact. We know for a fact we're definitely getting 2 today. So that'll be good, right? That'll be good to have at least a few of these done and ready to go, since it's been, you know, a little while since we've actually done an episode from the last one, right? And it was a couple weeks between that, so it's going to be a huge help having these today, being done today. So So today, slurry. We're going to move the slurry right now. Since we just bought this, we're going to move the slurry right now, and then we're going to jump straight into harvesting. Now, we've got to harvest our wheat field and our canola field, as I mentioned. We had more hail damage that occurred, and a lot of it occurred, unfortunately, in our cotton field. That is the last field I wanted it to occur in. I would have much preferred it to occur in the wheat field, the grass fields, or the canola field. Unfortunately, I think we have 3 or 4 spots in the cotton field. That's really going to hurt us big time. I mean, it's going to be a huge hurt to us, unfortunately, but... it is what it is. Here's where you can see that I made the little bit of the extension of all the grass. Basically, I removed that, the other cricket production, and then I just kind of resorted the grass here in this area a little bit. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We've got quite a few pieces of damage there already in the canola field, as you can see. The worker obviously is doing the mowing over there for us on that field, so that's good. So we'll see where we get to. Now, I don't have the BGA turned on yet. It's past 9 o'clock now, so we're not going to make any money there. But we're going to go ahead and turn it on now. So whatever we have, we're going to sell that. And we'll turn these on. I still have the digestate on distributing. There's a lot of digestate in there. It's not really distributing very fast. It never does over to here. But it is sending stuff over here. So it is working, right? Now, off camera, I did a lot of, it was actually during June still, but off camera, I did a lot of water management. In other words, I transported water all over the place where we needed it. We are going to need some more food for the pigs here pretty quickly. They do have a little bit of food left, but they're going to need some quickly. The chickens, they need some food. I'm probably going to take some of that wheat from that harvest and put it directly in there for the chickens, rather than just kind of storing that. You know, because... well, quite frankly, we don't really have anywhere to store it, so we've kind of got to figure out what we're going to do with this canola harvest. Maybe we put down a small silo just to store it, an inexpensive silo, right, to store it. But we're going to have to kind of figure that out, because right now, we don't have anywhere to put the canola, right? Same with the wheat. But like I said, most of that wheat, if not all of that wheat, I'm going to put in for the chickens. As much as it lets me, at least, let's put it that way. But here you go. You can start to see some of the hail damage. It's a lot, man. It's unfortunate. I think there's 4 spots right here. There's 2 right there, and then there's one far, 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 far down in the distance. There could even be another one that I'm missing, but it's at least 4. It's really unfortunate, man. That is the last thing we needed. That is literally going to hurt our overall top dollar there for the cotton. You know, I had told you I'd kind of did some math on it, and we're going to make a small amount of money. It's not a ton amount of money, but we're going to make a small amount of money off of it. That's going to hurt us. That's going to hurt us big time. So it's a bit unfortunate, but, you know, there's not much I can do about it now, right? There's not much I can do about it now, so it is what it is. And, yeah, so there we go. We've got a full tank of slurry that we just dropped into there. We're going to have a little bit more slurry from the pigs we're going to go get now. And we're going to continue on with this process. Now, we've got some things we also want to try to sell today. Again, this episode is just going to be nuts with how much we have to do. We've got some clothes there. The clothes are going to continue to drop for the rest of the series. We would ideally want to sell those right now because we're going to get more money now than if we were to wait. It does go back up partially in December, but it's not to the full extent of you know, April and May. So we need to probably sell those today too if we can figure out or find time to do it. I just don't know when and how we're going to do that. Obviously, it's a very, very busy day. It's a very busy day. So we made one upgrade to our mowing outfit, but we probably need to do a few more. A lot of you have mentioned that, right? We probably need to do a few more. We probably need to consider something a little bit different for picking up the grass off the ground. You know, the way that we had it there works great. I like it a lot, but our trailer isn't that big, so either we need to focus on getting a bigger trailer or we find something else. One thing I had thought about doing, and I feel like I had this conversation, I don't know if it was Crusty or Rusty, I don't remember which one I had this conversation with before, but I think I don't know for sure if it makes any bit of a difference or not, but you know, we've got our silage stick there, which has, you know, the silage additive ability, and then we've got, you know, like a forage wagon, loading wagon that we could pick up and use. That could essentially maybe even extend more of the silage additive to it, right? Because it has silage additive in that too. I don't know if it does anything. Maybe it's just a waste, and maybe, you know, it only does it one time. There's no extra, which probably makes a lot more sense, but I don't remember. So I guess that's another option for us to think about, and maybe I'll have to ask and see if one of them will be willing to let me know what I was talking about before with them, because I don't remember what that answer was. I feel like it didn't make a difference. I really do, but I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, the reason why I bought this stuff kind of... well, there's a mower out there, actually. But the reason why I bought this stuff is because I didn't want them to take it. I knew at least bare minimum one of them would have taken this slurry distributor. Because they've got a lot more slurry going on than I do, really. I've got a decent amount, but they've got more than I do, right? So I wanted to, well, first of all, make sure that it was able to speed things up for us, and two, they didn't get it, because that would just help them out, and I don't want to help them out. I'm kidding, of course, but in a joking way, I don't want to help them out, of course, right? In a competition way, I don't want to help them out. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at, gang. That's where we're at for the time being. So all of that is now done. We've moved everything around like we need to do, and I did that whole spiel. So we're going to jump into the harvester, and we're going to get started. We're going to do the wheat field first. Reason why we're going to do the wheat field first is because I know one of the chicken coops is really low on food. So we're going to do that first. That way we can actually get some food into them, into the pen. Then we'll work on the canola, mostly because also the canola, we're not sure quite what we're going to do with that yet. We don't have anywhere to put the canola, so we're going to have to figure that out. We will figure that out. Oh, nope. We want to drop straw. We want to drop straw because we're going to put that straw on the BGA. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we'll figure out as we move along here what we're going to do, and I guess we could kind of start looking at that right now. We don't need anything outrageously expensive because we're not going to get the full amount back, right? And but the thing that we should do is we should wait until we harvest this field, and then, you know, we'll know exactly how much we have, right? See, our wheat field only has one piece of damage. I really wish, oh my gosh, there's another one down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of damage in the cotton field. That is the worst it could possibly be. I mean, I don't want to have any damage anywhere, but I wish the damage was here. I really do. Man, that sucks. That is awful. We are going to lose so much from that. All right, well, anyway, what was I doing? We were talking about silos and stuff. You know, realistically, we probably want to harvest this field and see exactly how much we're getting out of it. That way we know what kind of silo we need to put down, right? Because we're just going to put down whatever the cheapest silo is we can get that can store that amount. Or we put down some kind of a production and make canola oil again. The problem with that is, I think I kind of did some basic math on that, is that you're not going to, if I would just sold the canola outright, I would make more money than I would put it into a production at this point, because the productions are a little expensive, right? But I didn't really factor in the price of a silo. We don't have a silo, right? So I didn't factor that in. So I guess we'll have to figure that out as we move along here, because I don't really know which one of those we should or would want to do in this instance. I'm going to keep an eye on the used market. This is the most stuff that's been in the used market yet. Yeah, the reason why, though, is because, well, everyone's selling stuff now, right? Everyone's selling stuff. Cresty was having fun at my expense off camera about the rollers, telling me I should buy both the rollers. No, I'm not buying both the rollers. Why don't you go ahead and buy the sprayer for your carrots? He's watching this, so I know he'll laugh when he sees that. Anyway. So, wheat field first. Then canola field. Wheat is going to go directly in for the chickens. All of it. I'm not quite sure if it's cheaper to buy the wheat from our buying silo, or if it's just, you know, more useful to take it from the field and put it in there. It's probably the other way around. It's probably buying it from the buying silo. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take it from the field. That's really what my initial intent was, and then everyone started using the buying silos, and so we kind of loosened that rule a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna use it from the field for the chickens. That way, we won't have to spend any more money today. At least any more money on buying food for the chickens. I didn't really word that properly, but you knew what I meant. You knew what I meant. So yeah, we've got a bigger problem here because we still have some extra wheat. I thought all the wheat would be able to fit in both of those, but it's not. It's a good thing. It's not a problem, but it is a problem, but it's not like a bad problem. It's a good problem, really. Yeah, that's good. So that means we got a really good yield off that small little field there. So that's a good thing, man. That's a real good thing. So we got this grass field all mowed up. I did get a little close here in the canola. I think I killed a tiny bit of the canola, but that's all right. We're going to get started on the canola now. Obviously, we are going to need to figure something out here pretty quickly in regard to what we're going to do with the remaining wheat and obviously what we're going to do with this canola. I don't have that answer right now. I think I'm going to harvest this field a little bit more here, and then once we have a full load, we'll figure it out at that point. But yeah, we're going to have to figure something out. Don't have the answers currently. We're going to figure it out together here, though. So, let's see. What can we do here? So, silo-wise, we're going to need something that has a little bit of bulk to it, I think. You know, perhaps one of these is the way to go here. Probably this $22,000 one, I would think. Do we have any of these containers that are kind of should be filled with anything and they're inexpensive? No, we don't. Not really. This one's liquid fertilizer tank, so that's not going to work for us anyway. Yeah, it doesn't look like much, unfortunately. And the extensions aren't too expensive either, so if we had to go that approach, I guess we could, if we absolutely had to. I'm going to take a peek after this real quick at productions really quick. Again, I don't think the productions is the way to go. I don't think it's going to make us enough money in the long run, given how much, you know, time we have left and just the size of this field. It's a decent sized field, don't get me wrong, it really is, but I'm not quite sure it's going to give us what we need. Okay, so let's see. Productions, or factories, rather. Sorry. I'm so used to calling it productions. You know, we've used these before. There is some storage in them, so I guess that's a bonus, but I don't think that's really what we want. That is not ability for any canola. It's literally only flour, so that's out. That's way too expensive. Again, way too expensive. It's fish food anyway. We wouldn't have everything we need for that anyway. These small oil mills, though, they're just too slow, right? They're way too slow, so it's not going to work for us. To me, it's seeming like there's not much here. The only thing we could really do is put down a mill again, which we had before, but we wanted to move that mill. It was kind of in the way. So I guess we could go that approach. We could go with putting a mill down again. It does have some storage in there. We can make canola oil with it, and we can make flour with it. Ideally, we would want to probably take that flour and all those eggs we have and make something else with that, but we really don't, I'm not quite sure doing all of that really makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think we're going to get the money we need. There is another Veermeer out here. That's crazy. Oh, also we made some money there. Obviously, we're almost to 400,000. We're almost back to kind of where we started ish. So that's good, right? I don't think I turned off. I didn't turn the BGA off. Whoops. Well, there wasn't gonna be much out there to sell anyway, so that's okay. But I forgot to turn this off. That's okay. Yeah, so we've got quite a bit of digestate. We need to get a little bit more of that over here to the fertilizer plant, but really, we don't need a whole lot more to go over there because it does take it so long to process through. Yeah, maybe another month or two, and then I'm going to be turning the digestate off for the remainder of the series to the fertilizer plant. And then whenever it's done, we'll get rid of that fertilizer plant. The other thing we could do that I just now thought of, at least from the perspective of getting rid of the weed, is we could put down another chicken coop. I mean, that would be insane, how many chickens we've got, but we could do it. We could do it. It wouldn't cost much money to do so. I'm actually kind of leaning towards that for the wheat. Canola's still a problem. Canola's still a problem, but maybe we can get away with, a couple of different trailers to store it. I guess it really depends on how much we get. I don't really want to keep this harvester after this, though, because I don't want to incur any more of those, fees on it. We don't need it anymore after this. We're going to need a cotton harvester, but we're not going to need this harvester anymore after this, so whatever it is we end up doing, we've got to have some way to store this canola because it can't be stored in the harvester any longer. That's another approach we could have taken, right? Just storing it inside the harvester itself. But I don't want to take on any more of those fees. Maybe that is the cheaper way to go, though, right? Maybe the cheaper way to go is to store everything in here. But having said all of that, I'm not quite sure that there's going to be enough room in our trailer plus in the harvester to be able to get the whole field done. I mean, we had to unload a couple of times on that other field, and this field is bigger than that one. So, to me, it means, and I'm thinking at least, that there's not going to be enough room, right? So, lots of things to think about here on what we're going to do, and we don't have a whole lot of time left on this episode, which is unfortunate. It's just, we've had so much going on, man. Things are just going quickly. I guess the thing we can look at is, does the canola all have to be harvested today? No, I guess we could do it next month. So I guess all of the harvesting here of the canola doesn't have to be done today. So that's, I guess, one way to go about it. Wouldn't mean we'd have to keep the harvester for one more month. I don't necessarily think that's 100% a bad thing or not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Like I said, we're going to be incurring fees and stuff, and I don't want to do that. But one more month 1 more month may be more reasonable than holding on to stuff all the way until, well, realistically, November. That's when, you know, canola is normally best to sell, right? So I think it's November, December, whatever. Either way, a long time, right? That's a lot more fees to incur than 1 month. I'm a little bit more willing to accept 1 more month of fees versus, you know, 4 more months of fees. That makes sense? I'm sure it does. We got a lot to do, man. We got a lot to do still. There's no way we're going to be able to get all of these fields set up in a grass. I was hoping I'd be able to get them all set up in a grass state. You know, re-drilled, etc. Ready to go for grass for August. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. As much as I'd like it to, it's not. I am going to have to use a worker a little bit here, too. We already did that, but I'm going to have to use a worker again. As soon as we get down here to the end, well, as a matter of fact, by the time we get down to the end, we're probably going to be full. So we're going to have to figure something out. I think chickens are the way we're going to go. I think we're going to go with chickens. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in another chicken coop. If I can't squeeze a chicken coop in, then we're back to square one again. But yeah, I think chickens. I think chickens are the way to go. The silo-wise, if we do put a silo down, I don't know where I would even put it. We don't really have. But we do have tons of room. I shouldn't say it that way. We have tons of room. Room is not really a big problem, but I'd like to squeeze it in somewhere. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Should be able to get this whole harvest done, though, without having to fill up gas, which is also a good thing. I didn't want to spend any more money on gas on this when I'm just going to get rid of it, right? Alright, that's full. Alright, so we've got to do something with this. We only have 6,536 liters, though. You know, maybe putting it down another pin maybe doesn't make the most sense when you think of it in that sense, because that's not that much food, and they're going to need a lot more. And the chickens that we currently have right now are going to need a lot more, too, right? So, So, let's see. We've got 65 on that. I would say maybe a little less than half the field is harvested over here. We've got 7,500, so maybe 20-something thousand probably on this, right? 21, maybe 22. If we're lucky, more than that, but something along those lines, more than likely. So we need really a 30,000-liter silo, right? At least a 30,000-liter silo. I mean, I keep coming back to these mills. I've used them already. I don't want to use them again specifically, but because you don't make any money back at all on these things. These things are atrocious when it comes to getting your money back. You really don't get your money back, right? But it kind of fits in nicely right here, although it says land not owned by me, so maybe not. Maybe it won't let me do it. Never mind. Will it let me do it this way? No. Okay, so it's too close to the edge. It's not letting me do it. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it would have been nice to just, you know, tuck this in right here. That would have been nice. It lets me do it here for whatever reason. I guess I could go about it that way. It's a little weird, but I guess I could go about it that way. I'm not really sure how I'm going to unload that, though. That's going to be the difficulty, I think, is unloading it. Yeah, it's just this way for some reason. Can do it this way, but then I wouldn't have any way to unload anything. I mean, maybe just there. And leaves a very awkward space there. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? We are not going to have enough time to get everything done today. I can tell you that. We are not going to have enough time to get everything done. I don't want to put it here. It doesn't really fit there either, but I don't really necessarily want to put it here, but maybe that's what we do. Because the reason why I'm saying I don't want to put it here, there's a couple of reasons. One, I think we're going to have to put down another Grammel's knitwear when it comes time to actually harvest the cotton. I think we're going to need it. Now, Grammel's knitwear is not very expensive, right? But I think we're going to need it. I mean, I guess here is where we're going to have to go with it. The problem is I don't think everything is going to fit in here either. We did it. We did it. We're going for it. We're going for it. We're hoping for the best. We're going for it and hoping for the best. The only negative there is we don't make hardly any money back when we sell it. You know, a lot of the stuff that we've placed down, we're getting at least, well, a little less than half, I guess, back. You know, so we make a little bit of money back off this. This one, you just don't get anything back at all. Okay, so let's turn it on. It holds 24,000 liters, so it's a little more than I thought. So yeah, I think that was probably for the bang for your buck, that was probably the best deal, although we'd get a little bit more back when it comes to, you know, the silo, right? We'd get a little bit more money back when it comes to selling it, but I think in the long run that's going to be better for us. And you know what? I'm going to turn this off. Maybe flour was the way to go. Leave it on. We'll leave it on. I was going to say, I'll turn it off and just store it for the chickens, but that's not going to be enough to hold the chickens over for the remainder of the series. So we might as well just go ahead and make what flour we can make out of that. It's not going to be much, but we'll make something. Right, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to put a worker on doing this. As soon as they're done unloading, the worker's going to go on this. And I'm just going to leave the trailer kind of in the middle. And then we're going to utilize our cloths and use our brand new windrower and get that grass kind of windrowed up in a good spot for us so we can pick it up. We're going to need to roll that field too. There's a lot to do. I'm not even going to worry about the straw today. As much as I want to, I'm not even going to worry about it today. We can do it next month, right? Or next episode, just because, quite frankly, we're running out of time. We've got about 10-15 minutes left of the episode before we all agreed that we would stop. So, yeah, we need to get moving here with the last 10-15 minutes we got. So we got to be more efficient here. Might even be smart to windrow up some of the straw there. I know it doesn't really make a big difference, but just to make things a little bit faster for when it comes to pick up that straw, it might be helpful too. Look how big this thing is. This thing is a beast, man. It's a beast. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'd like to kind of go around the edge here with this if I can. And then I'd like to take some of this straw and turn it into grass. You know, sometimes you can kind of cheat the system a little bit and make it turn it into grass. If it was straw before, then it turns into grass, right? Just put mostly the grass over here and just see what happens. Now, the worker's going to go around and do headland first, and that's fine, because I didn't turn it off. I probably should have, but then they're going to leave little strips, and we could get into an issue there where they're done. They've got a full load, and I can't get to them without killing crop. And I really, at this point, with how much crop's already been killed there, I don't really want to kill any more crop if I can help it, right? So All right. Let's get over here. I don't know what the worker's doing now. The worker thinks he's missed something, evidently, or I've missed something, I guess. Whatever. It's acting like there's actually something there, but there is literally nothing there. It's getting stuff. We'll take it. Evidently, I missed something that's giving me more out of it. That's fine. Go for it. I guess. Whatever you want to do, buddy. Whatever you want to do. Alright, well, you know what we got to do. We got to get the rest of this grass up. We've got the rest of that harvest we need to get done, right? We've got things we need to do. Let's get going. Let's get it done. Or the thing did not like that I was picking up straw for whatever reason, so I don't know. Maybe it won't let me do both at the same time like some things, you know, they will. Like if it's a baler, right, it goes back and forth between the two. Maybe that thing won't let me do it. That's fine. If it is what it is, maybe there's some straw in there right now. As soon as I hook it back up, it might shoot straw into here, then that's fine. So I think what I'm going to continue to do here, gang, is because the guys are done, so I'm going to be done as well. But I think I'm going to continue on here. I'm not sure how much I'll get done or how much I'll get through here, but my goal will be realistically to get as much as I can get done off camera. If I can get the rest of this field done, wonderful. If I can get the grass field all rolled up and everything and you know, the straw up, great. Like I said, I'm a little less worried about the straw field right now. I just want to get the grass field picked up, re-roll it, so that way we're not wasting any time on that grass field. And if I get this field harvested, well, great. If it's still some left over, then we'll finish it up here in August. We shouldn't have any issues there. We should be able to do so. So, we'll leave the episode at that point. I hope you enjoyed it, gang. If you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. They are free. They help me out an absolute ton. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, let me know down below. As always, I'm happy to get back to you on those. Thanks to my members for all their continued support. It really does mean the world. If you want early access to videos like this one, there is a link. All right, just run into me. That's fine, too. There is a link down below where you can join up and check out every video that I release early, regardless if I have the thumbnail done or not. As soon as it's uploaded, you have access to it. You also get a member series, as I mentioned before. There's a member series that I come out with once a month where we go through some different ideas that are in my head for a different series, among numerous other things. And I try to incorporate any of your ideas and thoughts into a new series that may be coming out. If we're in a period of time where there's no new series coming out, we do have a series that we run. It's just going to continue to run whenever there's no new series to work on. And that is only specifically for you guys. So, a lot of perks if you do join. Like I said, I'm working on some other things as well. They will hopefully come out towards the mid to end of summer, I would think, if not earlier. And check the Discord, check the second channel, all that stuff. It's down below as always. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. And I'll see you next time. A little bonus material, exactly what it was, gang. The straw was what was causing an issue. It picked up some straw, so it was not allowing me to pick anything else up. So there's your problem. It's all been fixed now. Everything's working perfectly fine, as you can see. One other thing I forgot to do that we talked about, the send we were going to do, so I'm going to do it really quickly, and you might see the guys pop up there on the right side. I'm just going to mute them out for all of you, though. So we'll kind of do a little bit more of an extension on this episode, so those of you that stayed until the very end get a little bit of a bonus. But we're going to go sell the clothes. I said we were going to do that. We forgot to do that until the very end. We need to sell those right now because, like I said, the price is dropping, and it's going to drop. This is the best it's going to be. Next month is about what we'll get when the end of the season, or the end of the series, excuse me, happens. When we've got our cotton harvest and everything, it'll be the price on average of what August is. So we might as well go sell what we have now here in July. So let's go do that now before I forget. And yeah, we'll go from there. I will see you probably at the train. I'm assuming that's where we're going, but I'll see you there. All right, we're pulling up here. We definitely are going to get the canola done. I can tell you that. I got the grass up. I've got a worker doing the rolling for me, so we're going to try to get the grass in a good state as well. Not sure we'll get anything else done besides that, but we will get all of that stuff done. So here we go. We'll see what we get here. Like I said, it's not going to be as best as it could absolutely possibly be, but it's still going to be pretty good, or at least it should be. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do this manually instead of trying to back it up, because that's always a mess. So 26,000. Oh, that feels like that last one didn't sell properly because it just like disappeared. Where did it go? I guess it did. I don't know. It just feels like it didn't. Maybe it was close enough and it was already starting to sell. I don't know. Anyway, we're back above 400,000, which is a happy spot for us to be at. That's where we want to be at because we do know we need to buy a cotton harvester at some point, and that is going to be a good chunk of money, more than what we have right now. I'm not worried about it. We're going to have plenty of things we're going to be selling along the way. I'm not worried about it, but we definitely want to make sure we keep ourselves around that $400,000 mark, and that's where we're at. So, one more final thing. I finished the canola harvest. We're going to sell it. I don't want to take the more maintenance or the fees or whatever for this overnight, so let's go ahead and get rid of it now. Repair it. We'll repaint it. It's expensive to repaint it, but we're going to get more money for it that way. And we'll sell it, and we'll sell it. Puts us to $441,378. So, those of you that stayed by for the extra, thanks so much for continuing to watch all the way to the end. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.